Welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2. This isn't so much discussing the Zaku Mariner, which just got an update. And if you're going to ask me, just buffing the damage on this unit was not what it needed. It needed more stagger, so it could actually do something. The damage is a nice buff, but I wanted to get into what I actually think is valuable in a support and what isn't, and how I judge that. So we're just gonna have the match playing in the background while we talk here. So what do I find valuable in a support? Well, really simple. A unit that can actually do things to make openings and create situations in which the team can take advantage of. And that requires a number of different things. So, Zaku Mariner has the makings of a suit that could be good, but because the design philosophy is support do damage, and that's literally all it's connected to, it kind of faces a classic problem where you can have all the damage in the world and still not be able to do a damn thing with it, because if you're really that interested in damage, why don't you just play a raid with a heavy support or heavy attack? You're playing a support because you want to be able to be that game changer, and really a lot of supports struggle with this element, and I think it's really because the design philosophy does not value what a unit can do to help. So I mentioned it lacks really that stagger ability, even of the Zaku Marine type. Its weapon doesn't have the stagger capability, really, in my opinion, that one did. Now they up the damage, and you'll see as I'm playing it, it's doing very well. But I really do grade a support on its ability to commit an action and create an opening for another team member to take advantage of it. And usually that comes in the form of the ability to stagger or heavy stagger, or to control where the opposing team can act, aka it kind of curdles off areas and forces the opposing team to have to play in the areas that you want them to, into your advantage. So, really, this unit wants you to play it up close. It wants you to be able to get in there with the hot wire or the hot rod, or whatever you want to call it. And it just doesn't have the chops, because it doesn't have the ability to really hit a unit with a stun, come in, smack it with that wire, and then take a down strike on it. Even in the past, and I'll link to the original review I did of this unit that's on the Vervivian Guard channel, you'd had to see I had to set up the wire to be useful and take advantage of situations, which is fine, but it's too slow, it leaves you too open, it doesn't heavy stagger, so it just is another limit to what this unit can do. And I think a lot of players are going to get into playing supports because, one, they're naturally going to go with a range option first, and two, it's a learning position for them to get kind of the mechanics of teamwork, how the maps play, how the different units interact. And honestly, supports, as far as I'm concerned, have failed in the ability to really teach players. You have to have kind of a knowledge already to get a lot of use out of a lot of supports, because they're usually slow, lumbering, not really capable in melee, or even into a small degree capable in melee. It limits your experience in the game, and therefore your ability to learn. Now, that's not every single unit like that, There are units that break that mold, and there are some very good supports out there, but one of the things that drives me mad is when you have a unit like this that's kind of pushing you to be pretty close to your team members fighting so you can throw out that damage, you're not really creating openings too often. And you'll see I actually really struggle in all of the matches I've actually played in this unit. Yeah, I do damage, but it's forcing the situation a lot of times. And really, I got lucky because of the enemy team layout. And I'm not too unwilling to say it, but as you can see, I really was trying to lock down areas and to funnel the enemy, but a lot of times they just can straight up ignore you so easily that I don't understand what they were deciding to do with this unit. So I think it really comes down to you need the unit to offer things that are not just damage. Damage is a nice bonus for a support. It needs to offer some kind of gimmick. Kind of like, oh, it cancels out radar, or it exposes enemies, or whatever, or has a special weapon that can help limit movement or screw up movement. You'll see that in the Zusa, the Bulldog, and a couple others that have some options like that. And then you'll see ones like the Hildorfer, which is fairly fast, and so on and so on. But I really think where this unit fails is the only thing that they could really do is, one, they could offer it, give it another secondary weapon that basically shoots instant stagger missiles. That'd be an option, with a long reload and or cooldown. Or, frankly, just increase the ability for its weapons to build stagger up. That way, when you're spamming out the missiles, you're using the weapons, you can open up opportunities for yourself as a unit. But most importantly, when you're up close with your guys in the team, that you open up the ability for your raid to just unload on someone, or your generals to rip apart the raid. And this unit just, for all the things I would love to like about it, it just does not offer that. So, I judge a lot of supports based primarily off what they have to offer in what they do for their team. And if you're asking me if this unit is worth getting, avoid it like the plague. There are way better options. I'll even have some upcoming options that you'll see via videos and some just demonstrations of it. But this unit is not worth the pain, the suffering, or the heartache. And that's really disappointing, because I actually really like the Zaku Mariner. I believed it was one of my favorite low-cost suits, and I was hoping this suit would be effectively a more tricked-out version of that. With the increased damage, yeah, it can perform a little better. I just don't see its win rate going up, because when you're facing as many instant stuns and all that, you're just going to get walked up and beaten. So, thank you for joining me, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.